One of our favorite weekend breakfasts is tofu scramble, and this week we made a kimchi version, which is absolutely delicious. To make it, you can use pretty much any vegetables you like. I sauteed some mushrooms, leek, and bell pepper. About 4 minutes after adding the bell pepper, I crumbled one package of firm tofu, so 400 grams. And I had to add a little bit of oil because my pan is very old. I really need to buy a new one. I added some turmeric. It's gonna give it the yellow tint without adding like a big flavor. Also some garlic powder. And then I cooked that for a few minutes. I added a bit of water so it didn't stick too much to the pan. A little bit of salt. Pepper. And the secret ingredient that gives it an egg-like flavor is black salt. You don't need it, but it's a really nice touch. And also I like it a bit more runny, like I don't like it when it's dry, so I add some chickpea flour and a bit of plant milk. And then you need to cook it for at least a good 4 or 5 minutes because you don't want to eat raw chickpea flour, it will not taste good. And I really like adding some nutritional yeast. Once again, don't have to, but I recommend it. And of course some kimchi. I chop it quite finely and I add it at the end because I don't want to kill the good bacteria since it's fermented. I forgot to film that part, but while I was making the tofu scramble, I was also baking some veggies in the oven. So I have some potatoes, sweet potatoes, and Brussels sprouts with a little bit of oil, turmeric, and garlic powder again. So super simple, but very delicious. So I cooked that for a good half hour, I would say. And then I served everything up. We had some leftovers because it was a lot of food. But yeah, it was super delicious. I really recommend that you try it. Lately we've been snacking on oranges pretty much daily because we've got 4 kilos. I ordered them directly from Gibana. They come from Greece, and only about 65% of the oranges cultivated in Greece can be exported due to crazy regulations, and Gibana is trying to change that. So I will put all the info in the description box below. It's a great project that I'm happy to support.
So usually for breakfast we have oatmeal or muesli with some berries, a banana, and that's really our go-to breakfast during the week. But so this morning we had a hearty breakfast, and so now we're gonna have a light lunch and to get our berries in there, because we try to get berries into our diet every day. So we're gonna have a smoothie, something lighter for lunch, and then for dinner we're gonna have something savory again. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start by adding the flax seeds. So we try to get ground flax seeds into our diet every day. Most notably for the short chain omega-3s. So we're going to add that in there first so it gets ground up. We're also going to add some oats to make it a hearty smoothie. So oats, of course, are going to make it a bit more filling, and there's lots of great stuff in oats as well, so we can add that in. Next, I'm going to put some frozen berries, blackberries, raspberries, and blueberries. So it's just a frozen mix. Next, we're going to add our very ripe bananas. And this is one of my special ingredients for almost every smoothie we make. We always put a bit of mint in there, so it really gives a fresh taste to the smoothie. So I think it's a great addition every time. Last but not least, we want some liquid in there, and we're going to be using just any plant milk we have. This one is soy milk. And the reason we like this one very much is because it comes in a glass bottle. Just gonna eyeball this. I'll add a bit more later if I need to. And so that's it. Spoon. Yeah, I'm just gonna blend it a bit more.
For dinner, we weren't sure what to have because I actually didn't really plan this what I ate in a day. And Martin suggested that we make pizzas, which is perfect because I have these crusts that I bought a few weeks ago, and they're made with whole wheat flour as the main ingredient, which is great. And there are 2, so we're gonna have 1 each. And to top our pizza as a sauce, we're gonna use this vegan pesto that is delicious. It's a Berlin or at least a German brand, and I like to make my own pesto, but this one is just really good. And also we're gonna add some zucchini, red onion, kale, sun-dried tomatoes, artichokes, and sliced olives. I used to dislike everything on this board, and now I'm obsessed with all of it, and Martin is insisting that I put some garlic. So I'm gonna add a garlic clove. So I'm gonna transfer it to a baking sheet, and then I'm gonna assemble the second pizza, and then I will bake them both in the oven, which is preheated at 200 degrees if you're European and 400 if you are not. And yeah, towards the end I will add the kale and the cheese, but first I'll show you how to make the cheese. For the cheese, it's extremely simple. I'm basically mixing nutritional yeast together with some cashews and salt in a small blender. I'm just making a small batch now. I actually have a video for this recipe on my YouTube channel. I'll put it in the description. It literally took only a few seconds. And voila. I'm so sorry my light is extremely annoying, but that's it. I had to take it out of the oven before the sides get too hard, and I wanted the zucchini to brown a bit, but I didn't want to add oil because the tomatoes and artichokes are already oily. So usually I would have put just a tiny bit of oil on the zucchini and also added maybe the kale a tiny bit earlier, but it's gonna be fine. So especially with a healthy dose of parmesan. Oh, and hot sauce. Pesto, nooch and hot sauce are just the best thing ever. So that's what we're gonna do.